So I have my burn up GE control board for my bottom freezer refrigerator. This capacitor here melted. Now, I looked up a lot of things and you can see that this capacitor here is kind of bulging a little bit. It almost feels like with the plastic wrapping and the way the capacitors are supposed to be, I think that this one's okay, but this one was probably starting to go bad, and it's hard to see. Now, this capacitor, I guess, also is not bulging, and this, it's hard to say that it's bulging. It doesn't seem like it's bulging at all, but you might have you notice that there's a little bit of discoloration. It's very hard to see in the light here, but at that side there, and it's almost like a little bit of flexing around the seal, right? And these capacitors here look okay. So I guess they make these marks in there. I don't know what the purpose is, but maybe it's to allow for some flexing. So now this one here looks like it's got a little bit of misshapenness, and ironically that's the same one here as is bulging. So this one seems totally flat. This one seems pretty flat. This one here, the same one that fried on mine, seems like it has a little bit of bulging. So I'm wondering if perhaps it would be smart for me to get replacement capacitors to put into this board, especially since it looks like I have some bulging there. So this might make a lot of sense to replace that capacitor before the board goes bad. Now, wondering and checking to see if perhaps this has been modified or had any repairs done to it. It's just one I bought on eBay, and maybe it's something that somebody bought out of, or just pulled out of a refrigerator that they were disassembling, which is fine, you know, that's good. But it will have the same issue as the year 2000 to 2010 bad capacitors. Like, apparently there are just lots of bad capacitors made in that period of time. So it probably makes sense for me to replace this. Now, maybe another option is to just get another control board, have it ready to go, and then also check its capacitors and make sure that they are in good shape, maybe preventatively replace them. But that's where I am with this whole thing. I believe that the sequence of events that may have caused this to happen was you know, this capacitor with just a little, you know, not much bulging there, but just a little bit. Maybe this capacitor went bad, caused the board to fry in this location, and then as I researched, the reason that there's the frying right there. Now, as I researched, it seems that a common cause for a single pin to have gone bad on this L-shaped relay is for when the board goes bad. Maybe there's a short in the board or something like that that caused that to happen. So I feel like I have a potential sequence of events that leads to nothing outside of the board, which is what I was really worried about here, is that maybe some other parts in the refrigerator are bad. So anyway, it seems like this may have just been a defective thing, caused the board to fry, that caused that pin to go bad, and maybe that's all that's happened. Now, I was also looking at, you know, how the failure may have happened and why do I have all this blackness on here, and I guess that's basically just the burnt plastic settling on the board in that area. Maybe the board, you know, kind of, you know, just, yeah, I guess, you know, it would have gone on anything that it could have landed on, but it's just, you know, condensed smoke. That's about all I have for this video, and I'm glad to have learned a little bit about refrigerator control boards and how maybe just replacing a $2 part is really all you need to do to save your, you know, several $1,000 refrigerator.